Today we're unboxing some Warhammer 40k Space Marines. How's it going, everyone? It is UndertowTyler here. Welcome you to the channel yet again. And today we are not bringing you beneath the waves or into the webway. Tonight it's a double duty Stormcast Eternals, otherwise known as Sigmarines, as you may have known them in the past. I remember when these guys first came out and everybody hated them because they screwed over Warhammer Fantasy, and they brought in these guys who look suspiciously like Space Marines and have a very similar aesthetic. Heavily armored warriors, essentially. Now, I've never opened any Stormcast Eternals. I don't have much experience at all with Age of Sigmar, besides maybe a game I had with some Maggotkin of Nurgle. So this is actually a very new experience for me, and you're here with me experiencing it with me experiencing it. So, what do we got here? We have the Stormcast Eternal Liberators and Stormcast Eternal Paladins. So I do not have the Codex or the Battle Tome for Stormcast Eternals. I bought these guys intending them for allies for my IDNF Deepkin, because tomorrow I'll be playing my first game of Age of Sigmar proper with my IDNF Deepkin, and I wanted to bump up my points a little bit so I can be able to at least be somewhat of a challenge to 1,500 point list. So hopefully it'll work out. So I bought these guys because these Liberators, I believe they were about 100 points, and these guys are their most expensive version is 200 points. So it gives me exactly 300 points for allies. That's the reason why I bought these guys. Now, there will not be a Tactica portion of this video, because I have no experience with these guys and I don't want to sully your knowledge with my lack of knowledge. So, as you can see, these are Warhammer Age of Sigmar. This is not the Dark City. This is not Kabalite Warriors. This is not Scourge. This is my fantasy army. And I have ideas, and I'll present them to you later for how I'm going to make these guys. So, what is different with these boxings between 40k and Age of Sigmar? Well, for one, they always have this white background. That and Chaos Demons. Chaos Demons also have the white background because they can also be used for Age of Sigmar. However, mainly Age of Sigmar has this white backdrop, which I really like it. And of course, he always has the Age of Sigmar there. And the boxes are pretty standard, really. Just like normal. You see like them in little poses and everything. Please forget the ring light. So let's this is going to be a double duty. So let's look at the Liberators first. So there's the Stormcast Eternal Liberators. They all have hammers and shields. They really sell that it's Warhammer, guys. And on the back here it shows you like instead of a Warhammer, you can have them have a sword. Really different, am I right? But it also shows the different color schemes that giving you examples. For one, I'm not going for any of these because I don't think that IDNF Stormcast Eternals would really work with IDNF stealing souls of villages. I feel like that'd be out of their moral standpoint. And as you can see, it was priced at $50 at my LGS. A pretty good discount too. And then you have the Paladins. So I did a little bit of research when I was trying to figure out which one to buy. And I don't think there's actually a unit called Stormcast Eternal Paladins. I think this is just a catch-all term for these specialist units. As you see, the box is a little bit damaged right there. I think they cut it out for something to do with like online orders. However, you can build these 3 different ways at least. Decimators with axes. Retributors with maces, the more blunt type weapons, and then there's protectors with these more of glaives, long bladed swords and such. And I must say, I really do like the look of these Stormcast Eternals from like stuff like really exotic like that. Maybe it's because I'm really big fan of Dark Elf design and really ornate, over the top designs on models instead of just kind of simplistic death masks. You know what these guys really remind me of? Blood Angels. They have a unit called Don't Don't Kill Me. Don't kill me over this. I'm trying to Sanguine Guard. I believe that's what they're called. They're really badass and they always have these death masks. So these kits can actually provide a lot of good bits for converting Sanguine Guard if you so choose. So as you can see, it just shows off the like suggested paint scheme, suggested. You don't have to follow it. Follow however you will to your heart's content. Honestly, with Stormcast Eternals, really easy to paint. If you wanted to paint them in a traditional sense, you slap some metallics on there and call it a day. That's it. You're done. And slap a wash on there, and you're good. I'm not planning on doing that though. So let's get into the unboxing, shall we? We're unboxing both. Stay tuned. All right, time to unbox it. This time I didn't actually leave a little hole for me to easily open it, but luckily the shrink wraps opening quite nicely. Let's open up the Liberators. All right, like a condom. Eat! And the Paladins. These guys are wanting to be a little bit more stubborn. Be gone! Right. I say let's open up the Liberators first and see what's inside the box. Hopefully these actually have a rule sheet, unlike the Scourges. I was really surprised by that last video. I thought all these reboxings were supposed to have the rules. There we go. That box is empty. So in order not to confuse this, I'm going to go over this first, put them to the side, and then open up the Paladins. So first things first, we have a very nice little black and white picture of the Sigmarines. And little etchings for different Stormcast Eternals not chapters. And right here you can build them either one of two ways, with paired Warhammers or with Warhammers and Sigmarite shields. Which I always thought that was very strange, how in Age of Sigmar they literally could not come up with a better name for the armor these guys wears other than Sigmarite. It's a little bit baffling, but you know, it's okay. The game's fairly still new, I guess. It's been around since, what was it, 2016, 2017? I know I got into 40k around the time when Age of Sigmar came out. So it's showing you like instructions, how to build them. All the little depth mask showing you different ways of building them. A grand hammer or a grand blade. It's a little bit silly. Grand hammer, grand blade. Paired melee weapons. So really these guys are kind of like the antithesis to Chaos Warriors in fantasy. Ah yes, here we go. The War Scroll, as they call it. Let's check it out. So these guys have a 5-inch movement, 2 wounds each. 4-up save, which I'm very much surprised. I would think these guys would have a 3-up save, like power armor. So they have any melee weapons from Warhammers, which all the stats are done by weapon basis instead of by the unit basis. Makes it simpler, but it's also a little bit funky. So it looks like the Warhammer is a 4-up to hit, 3-up to wound, while the Warblade is the opposite, a 3-up to hit or 4-up to wound. It's a little bit silly if you ask me. The Grand Hammer is a 4. This is literally like just back and forth. It's a very simple little sheet right there. Not much tactics, I reckon, with these guys, other than just standing proud. A unit of Liberators has 5 or more models. Some units of Liberators are armed with a Warhammer in each hand, while others wield paired Warblades. Other units enter battle with a single Warhammer and carry Sigmarite shields, and vice versa. In any case, 1 in every 5 models can instead be armed with either a Grand Hammer or a Grand Blade. With the amount of -1 to hit in Age of Sigmar from what I've seen in battle reports, I would say the Blades would probably be a better choice. That's because I don't see many -1s to wound. So I think that may be the safer option. The Liberator, the Sergeant is a Liberator Prime. He makes 3 attacks rather than 2. Paired weapons, extra, you get reroll hits of 1 if you're armed with paired weapons. Lay low the Tyrants. If any model from this unit selects a unit with wound characteristics of 5 or more, add 1 to that model's hit rolls in that combat phase. So, judging this War Scroll right here, oh yeah, also you can reroll save rolls of 1. So, you don't have to cast Mystic Shield on these guys if you're carrying a Sigmarite shield. So, this lay low the Tyrants, that makes it to where I think the better option is take the Warblades, to be quite honest. Now, I don't know what else Stormcast Eternals can do with their specific battle tome, but using these guys allied with IDNF Digkin, I definitely use them with the shields just because it makes them harder to kill. And if I'm targeting like a monster or something, I would want to have that one to hits. So I would want these Warblades. So if I'm attacking a monster, I'm hitting on 2-ups instead of 3-ups. Or if I had a Warhammer, I'd be hitting on 3-ups. So I'd much rather have the 2-up to hit and the 4-up to wound than anything really. All in all, it's a pretty I would say substandard, pretty standardized unit. These are definitely like a very starter unit for most armies, for most people getting into Age of Sigmar. Here's a little so I'm sorry, I can't take this shit seriously. This is the fucking transfer sheet. You can't really see it very well, but there's a white version right here and a black version right there. It's the same shit. What I find funny is that it's just this small. It's just this it's a fucking business card, guys. This is a fucking business card. The goddamn Space Marine transfer sheet's like 2 pages and shit. Dark Eldar, everything's like almost a big ass page, and the Sigmarines get this little piece of shit. Bases. Now these are 40 millimeter. It's just fucking stupid. Alright, the sprues. So you got the Warblades right here. Looks like you got enough to make the whole unit. You got your great grand blade right here. It's just cheesy. Oh yeah, there's a grand hammer. Actually, would be really nice if somebody could convert that. A lot of these are really good conversions for actual Space Marines. You can turn this into a Thunder Hammer. Like, Chaos can now use Thunder Hammer, so this is actually a pretty good conversion with it. And I'm sure they would go easily on Space Marines. Especially now with the Primaris, or even Chaos Marines. So, that's one of the sprues. It's just the body parts and some faces and such. Here's another. This is for like if you want to pair up those Warblades, I can tell. Because that is a left-handed grip. You got your shields. Really ornate style shields with the big old hammers on them. Your little wart hammers right here. Because it's, Warhammer, Age of Sigmar. You know, if there's ever a unit that that is a literal name drop, just if a picture's worth 1,000 words, these models are worth four. Warhammer Age of Sigmar, because that's literally Warhammer Age of Sigmar. These guys are the poster boys of it. Literally, even more so than Ultramarines are for 40k. Ultramarines are for 40k because it's just something random they chose. Matt Ward also really liked the Ultramarines. Now, Age of Sigmar, these guys were meant to be the main characters. All right, Paladin time, fellas. Let's put that all to the side. I, this is just the dumbest shit. Get that out of here. Oh my god. How do I open this shit? I can't even think properly now after seeing that. That is just... I'm glad you guys are here with me. Oh! Empty. Alright, the Paladins. So you can either build... I was right, you can either build them as Retributors, Decimators, or Protectors. I, for one, am going for Retributors. So just instructions, you know. I'm actually planning on, right after filming this video, I am going to be building them because I have that game tomorrow and I'd like to have these guys ready. I might even paint them. So it looks like the Protectors have these glaives. Alright, so rules. I'm not doing a little Tactica version because I really don't have much to give. I can make an observation, but might as well just keep that in the actual video. Retributors. They have a 4-up movement, 3 wounds each, and a 4-up save, 7 bravery. Which is a pretty decent amount of bravery. They have the Lightning Hammer. 1-inch range, 2 attacks, 3 up, 3 up, 2 damage. So it's like... I don't know how to describe it really. It's pretty decent, and the Star Soul Mace has its own little... I think it does mortal wounds. Unit of Retributors can have 3 more models. They are armed with lightning hammers, and 1 in every 5 models may instead be armed with a Star Soul Mace. The leader of this unit is a Retributor Prime, makes 3 attacks rather than 2 with a lightning hammer. Blast to ashes. If the hit roll for an attack with a lightning hammer is 6 or more, that blow strikes with a thunderous blast that inflicts 2 mortal wounds instead of its normal damage. Do not make a wound roll. So you basically skip wounding. That actually is really good. These guys, I believe they are very hard hitting. Star Soul Mace, a model with a Star Soul Mace can make a Star Blast attack. These fucking names are just silly. In each combat phase. Pick a unit that is within 1 inch of the Star Soul Mace. Oh, shit. They just deal straight up D3 mortal wounds? That's insane. That is absolutely nuts. So there's no stopping it. There's no denial. There's no anything. D3 mortal wounds. I kill at least 1 guy. You're going to be losing them. Unless, like, you pass a feel no pain or something. Now let's go on to the Decimators. Same statistics up here. Just they're equipped differently. They also have a Star Soul Mace. They have Thunder Axes, though, which does 1 less damage for no reason. I guess. So same thing here. 1 in every 5 models can have a Star Soul Mace. Sergeant can attack 1 more time. I had to burp off. Mike. Cleaving Blow. A single swing of Thunder Axes can carve through several foes. When a model attacks with a Thunder Axe, select target unit and make 1 attack for each model it has within range. Oh, so these guys are really good with horde clearing. Grim Harvesters. Fear surrounds Decimators as they set about their gory work. Add 2 to the result of battle shock test made for each enemy units there within 6 inches of any Decimators. and then Star Soul Mace. So these guys are apparently really fucking scary. You know, you could have fooled me. Christ. I'm sorry. I just personally, I think Storecast Eternals are quite cheesy. they just crack me up. All right, guys, the Protectors, Stormstrike Glaives. So 3 attacks. They get more attacks. They get a better range. 3 ups to hit, 3 ups to wound, -1 ren, 1 damage. The usual. So the Protector Prime can make 4 attacks instead of 3. Death Strike. A Stormstrike Glaive can slay monstrous foes with a single blow. If the wound roll for a Stormstrike Glaive is 6 or more, the target is a monster, it does D6 damage instead of 1. Wow. These guys are just filled up with the special rules. Storm Shield, arrows deflected by the detectors weaving glaives. I'm not sure if that counts as a shield. But subtract 1 from the hit rolls of enemy shooting attacks that target a unit of protectors, or which must cross a unit of protectors to hit a model that lies beyond them. Oh, okay. So these guys act as a shield in between them, in between the firing unit and the guy behind them. Which I'm playing Ideneth, so it doesn't really matter. But what does matter is that these guys on turn 1 with Ideneth are going to go up to a 3-up save, because I play Iron Ratch. They're going to go up to a 3-up save cover. And they have that -1 to hit. That's pretty neat. And they have the Star Soul Mace again. We all know what that does. Very enlightening, I'd say. So originally I would say the Retributors would be the best. But now I'm really liking the Protectors. Although dealing those mortal wounds may in fact be great. Plus they do 2 damage each. So I think on average the Retributors should be better. The Decimators, I think you're pretty much going to get the same amount of attacks with Decimators as you do Retributors and Protectors. That's my personal opinion from looking at the stat block. That's what I would think they would do. So, faces. Business card. It looks like one of those little things you get in a cereal box that has a fake tattoo. I feel like I could just put that on my arm right here and I'll just have a fake tattoo. It's just ridiculous. So we have the sprues right here. So it looks like their weapons are multi-part kits, which is a little bit annoying in my personal opinion, but it also makes them a little bit easier to convert, I believe. So you have the hammer bits, the axe bits, the glaive bits, faces. You have all sorts. I really like these personally. I really like those helmets. I believe they're monopose too, unfortunately. I think all Stormcast Eternals are. Alright, just ate dinner. My bad. And shoulder pads. Another glaive. Another glaive. Little lion right there. Growling at you. And we have more helmets. Personally, I like the ones that I said earlier that I liked. You also have these little insignias with a moon and such. And then you have the more glaives. So you have at least 1 glaive for each. Which, I may be doing that. So, that's the unboxing, guys. Let's get up to planning. Planning-wise, I think, for me at least, those Liberators are going to be much better with those blades and the shields. And for points-wise, I'm probably going to be running these guys as Retributors. Although I might also run them as Protectors instead. I don't know. But, I mean, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. If I run them as protectors, then I'm kind of giving away a few more points than I ought to. But oh well, I'm going less points in general. Now, painting wise, I don't see how Stormcast Eternals could tolerate what Idoneth Deepkin do to survive. If you don't know, Idoneth Deepkin, they steal souls to make sure their young can live. And they don't care whose souls that is. Chaos, Order, anyone. So I'm going to go a bit grimdark and say these guys are enslaved to Idoneth's will, to the Enclave's will, with maybe brain slugs, brain barnacles as the artifact that they have, or maybe rust them up and make them look like almost trapped in their suits of armor and made insane through Idoneth rituals. I don't know. But, I mean, that's the idea. That haul is still coming soon, guys, for future video. And I can't wait to show you guys it. It's going to be a lot of content I'm going to bring to you. And I can't wait to show you what I've been working on with my Idoneth. Last night I was actually recording a painting video. However, it turns out that when I was streaming to Twitch, that mobile streaming from Twitch, the app, only records in 360p. So that is quite unfortunate. So I'm just going to go ahead and finish the model off camera. And later on, I will be doing like maybe the Namarti Thralls or definitely the Dark Eldar on camera. Do as many as I can on camera. And so I can keep on providing content for you guys. And maybe upload a few gaming videos, possibly. However, I haven't really been on top of that, and I've mainly been doing gaming on my Twitch channel. So if you are interested in actual video games, please follow my Twitch channel. I've been streaming Battlefleet Gothic lately. I've been having an itch to stream some more WoW, some what's it called? Stellaris, Total War, also Total War. And other than that, be ready for some more unboxings. And I'm glad you can join me for this double duty episode. You spoiled brats, you. Now, this has been UndertowTyler. I'm glad to have you here. I cannot pick up this fucking business card for the life of me. So you guys have a great night, and I hope to see you on the next one. See ya.